Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Hi. Good afternoon. Wow, that worked good this time. So, something's got to be good at this college, folks, because look at this weather. All right? Huh? I mean, the sun is shining. This morning the weather was crappy here. We couldn't have a more perfect day, so you got to know there's somebody watching over this place, okay? So we're thrilled you're here, and even more thrilled that we have nice weather. We're not sitting here in some kind of thunderstorm or a hurricane. So thank you very much for being here. So welcome to the groundbreaking of the much anticipated, long-awaited Hodson Boathouse. And I'm really, truly thrilled to be here this afternoon to celebrate this incredible moment for the college. I think Ann told me we've been saying we're going to build a new boathouse for like 86 years or something like that. Few schools are lucky enough to have a river as beautiful as this storied Chester River. And even fewer schools are lucky enough to count the Hodson Trust amongst their most generous supporters. I'm excited that at last, with the construction of the Hodson Boathouse, we will have a facility that does justice to the efforts of our athletes and coaches. This will also provide our faculty, staff, and students an attractive gathering place and a safe, convenient access to the water. Since the birth of the college's rowing program some 50 years ago, the Hodson Trust has been a loyal supporter of the college's waterfront activities. The late Layla Hinson, daughter of Colonel Hodson, and the philanthropist for whom the pavilion over here is named, was something of a fairy godmother. She would bestow annual gifts that would help the young rowing program succeed. Over the years, as a way to honor her, the Trust fulfilled a succession of wish lists, providing funding for rowing tanks, new shells, team jerseys, and an erg machine, whatever that is. In 2007, John Wagner, the director of the college's waterfront activities, added a new boathouse to the wish list. That takes some courage. I'll either take some new rowing equipment, or you could build us a new boathouse. As John Seidel said last week, at the groundbreaking last week for the Siemens Griswold Environmental Hall, to be constructed just a few hundred yards away, the stars have aligned, and by this time next fall, our top-notch sailing and rowing teams will finally have a boathouse that they deserve. So we're very grateful to the Hodson Trust for making the lead gift on this $5 million project. But I also need to tell you that we're phenomenally grateful to Regis D. Rommel. And to Jane Conroy for their campaign leadership. Also, I'd like to thank the members of the Board of Visitors and Governors who are here for making the final push to complete the funding that will allow the construction to begin immediately. Now, I really can't thank the donors enough for finally creating what will be a long sought after but beautiful facility on this river. It is now my pleasure to introduce Regis D. Rommel, a Washington College alumnus, and I might tell you, my neighbor. And his wife just told me that coming over here was a little hot, so they actually stopped at my pool and took a swim. So I try to provide all kinds of services to the board. They actually do. They live up in the nicer section from where I live. So Washington College alumnus from the class of 1997 and a current member of the Board of Visitors and Governors and co-chair of the Hodson Boathouse fundraising campaign. Regis' work in helping to secure the funds to make the dream of this boathouse is truly a labor of love for him. No, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, very good.
He's saying, hey, I've had enough of this introduction. I got some stuff to say. Did he laugh when I said about the pool? Yeah, okay. So, I was only kidding about the pool. They only stopped to look at it. Okay. So we are truly grateful for everything that you did, and I'd like to invite him up now to make some remarks.
Well, first off, thank you, Kurt. I guess I can call you Kurt. I can't, since we're neighbors, and your grass is under control. You've got, it's actually pretty amazing because who would have known that he literally lives a mile down the road from me. So we've got this gem of a president here now at Washington College that we should all really, really be excited to have. So everyone who knows me knows that I'm not a good public speaker. I hate it. I'll be brief, short. I'm really thrilled that you guys came out here. I think it's really awesome to see this many people. I thought there were going to be like 5 people here today. I think that's what Fanny told me, so it's like so I wouldn't worry about it. No, but I think it's really cool. I mean, we're finally, after years and years of talking about this. We were talking about this when I graduated in 1997, that we would have a boathouse like right around the corner, and guys like John Wagner, have really stuck it out, and unfortunately we couldn't get that done while he was still here, but he's here today. So I've got to give it to guys like John Wagner who really persevered and made this happen. Obviously, we've got to thank the Hodson Trust. I mean, without the Hodson Trust, we wouldn't have a boathouse. I mean, the Hodson Trust has been amazing for Washington College, but it's been particularly amazing for the waterfront. So I know I don't think they're here. Okay, we don't have like a representative for them, but the Hodson Trust was amazing. I gave some money, great, fine, whatever. But what we finally do have is a world-class facility that you guys back there who don't even get chairs, you don't need chairs, you're young, that you guys will finally get an amazing facility that you can show off your college to and be proud of. You don't have to talk, about the Trestle, because I think the Trestle Boathouse is amazing too. But what's more impressive and amazing is the waterfront. I mean, the water, the river, is something that other universities in this country would kill for. 2,000 meters of straight waterway, or for the sailing team, it's amazing. Our location in the Mid-Atlantic is amazing. So, anyways, with that, I don't think I want to keep anyone else there, but thank you all for your generous contributions. For the local community, the Chester Rowing Club, the alumni, the administration, you guys are amazing.
So, just as a point of directness, we wouldn't be here without the Hodson Trust, but we wouldn't be here without Regis Seidel. So thank you very much. I really mean to thank you. This is an extraordinary thing we're about to do. Let me introduce Washington College's Director of Athletics, Thad Moore.
I just asked Kurt if it's okay if I swam in a couple laps of this pool, so he said no problem. So, again, I obviously want to share my thanks with the Hodson Trust and also with Rajesh here. Echo the sentiments of President Landgraf. We wouldn't be here without them. And then obviously all the other donors that made this possible. I think also we need to thank those that kind of did a lot of the legwork that aren't necessarily still involved. I think John Leakley was recruited with the promise of having a brand new boathouse. And then John Wagner, I know we talked about John a little bit too, but obviously what his commitment was to the boathouse and to our sports teams is above and beyond what anyone could expect. So thank you, John. And then a longtime women's coach who this was his dream as well, and I don't think he's arrived here yet, but Mike Davenport obviously deserves some credit. And I think last but not least, certainly my predecessor, Dr. Brian Matthews, was a longtime AD, deserves a special thanks. I think a building of this nature is unique in the sense that it's the Washington College, it's a Hodson Boathouse. But it also has a lot of ties to the community as well. And I think we've kind of planned this so that it's designed around what can benefit not only Washington College but the community, and that's special and unique, and we did it that way on purpose. So it was one of those things where we want this to be a beacon to the waterfront. So. And last but not least, I agree with Regis. I'm not a great public speaker, so I try to keep my comments brief too. But to me, the most important part is the ones that you see in the maroon shirts in the behind us. Okay, once this building gets up and running, it will house over 100 student athletes, and that's impressive and that's significant. I think what it is, and it's a game changer. We talk about athletics and stuff like that. What makes it you able to compete and compete well? We have great programs now. Okay, we're going to get better. And one of the reasons we'll get better, obviously, is with the coaching. But being able to recruit to a facility like this, we're one of the few schools in Division III that have all three water sports. This boat edition of the Boathouse will make us one of the premier Division III institutions with a facility like that, and obviously with our competitive teams. So, again, thank you to everybody. Thank you for coming out. I look forward to the opening, hopefully, all fingers crossed, in September. And we welcome our students back to a brand new facility in the fall. So thank you again.
Nice job, buddy. You can go in my pool. Well, thank you very much. It's now my honor to invite the head women's rowing coach, Carrie Hughes, to make remarks. Carrie, in her first season at Washington College, was named the Mid-Atlantic Rowing Conference Women's Coach of the Year. Wow. So she led the Shore Women to their 5th consecutive Mid-Atlantic Rowing Conference Championship and the 5th straight NCAA Division III Championship appearance. Phenomenal. Carrie?
Good afternoon. On behalf of the rowing teams back there and the coaching staff, I would like to say thank you. Thank you to our generous donors for all your financial help and your time and support. Thank you to our amazing alumni for all the generosity and the interest that you continue to show throughout the years. And thank you to our friends at Chester River Rowing Club for your generosity and your can-do attitude, always willing to pitch in and help us with whatever we need. I'd also like to take this time to thank Ben Armiger and his student staff workers for all that they do here on the waterfront to support our teams. Ben and his staff provide outstanding support in keeping us in launches, working on the docks, and keeping Truslow the upkeep. He also helps introduce our athletes and recruits to the myriad of educational and recreational opportunities that the waterfront provides. The Boathouse will be a physical manifestation of our athletic department's commitment to the student athlete to give every athlete a first-class athletic experience. The new Boathouse will increase our national competitiveness with the addition of an erg room, a new tank, and locker rooms for each team. As rowing coaches, we are most excited about the erg room. With the increased space and the additional machines, we'll be able to train our entire team in one setting. The cornerstone of rowing is physical and mental toughness, and there's really no better place to teach that but on the erg. Shoulder to shoulder with their teammates and with their boatmates. I will say I don't think that is the best part for the athletes. In their minds, I know what they're looking forward to, because they talk about it all the time, is the new state-of-the-art rowing tank. It has the capacity to set 16 athletes, which will be 2/8 of rowers, where they can work on improving and refining their technique. Our coxswains will also have many opportunities to practice their craft in leading these rowers on workouts when every once in a while we don't get this beautiful water or the weather is too cold. And especially this time of year, the tank will provide an outstanding opportunity for our novices, and we have a lot of novices this year, to learn how to row, and they'll learn quicker and more efficiently. But at last, and certainly not least, I cannot adequately convey in words the importance of the locker rooms for each team. A locker room is a varsity team's home, a place to keep their gear, their tools, their clothing. It's a place for them to bond with their teammates before and after practice. It is a home. And a locker room says to each athlete, you are important, you are cared for, you are a varsity athlete. Thank you again, and we will continue to strive in all that we do to continue the legacy of 50 years of rowing at Washington College and to impart those lifelong lessons through our pursuit of excellence in sport. Thank you.
So now that I know what it is, I know I didn't know what an erg machine was. So thank you very much, Carrie. Our final speaker for the afternoon is Maura Matthews, a senior from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, a psychology major, and a member of the sailing team.
Hello, and thank you all for being here today. My name, as he said, is Maura Matthews, and I'm a senior on the Washington College varsity sailing team. 4 years ago, I started my journey on the sailing team as a walk-on. I remember eagerly driving down to the boathouse my first day at WAC, well, Washington College, WAC is what the athletes like to call it, to find our coach. I was so excited, but also so very nervous to join this team. After talking with Max Curlin, assistant coach at the time, and having one of the team members show me around the boathouse, my excitement levels increased. That is until I heard about the 5 a.m. lifts. But even after hearing all that, I've come to enjoy even the most intense physical training. From that day on, I've spent many hours at the boathouse, enjoying watching the community it houses. Sailing is an all-year-round sport, so I found myself at the boathouse working on something almost daily. Everything from playing ultimate frisbee when the Chester River had no wind, to coming off the water after long snowy practices in February just to huddle around the heater with my team until we could feel our hands again. Throughout these days spent at the boathouse, I've made many memories with friends that will last a lifetime. Although I'm sad to lose the sentimental value of Truslow Boathouse, I know I can speak for the whole Washington College sailing team and say that we are very excited for the new Hodson House. I've mentioned that we spend a lot of time around the boathouse. I believe the new facilities are not only going to make that time more enjoyable, but more valuable for the college and college's programs that it houses here. Having more space is fundamental for the program's growth and makes things much easier when we house both high school and college regattas. The new Hodson Boathouse is going to be the view and face of Washington College seen from the Chester River. I'm eager to see the new facilities strengthen the reputation of our waterfront programs. I'm looking forward to the day that I can come back to Chestertown and visit as a graduate to tour this boathouse. For all the donors who have joined us here today, please know that I know the students who will benefit from these facilities are going to be very fortunate to call this place their home. Thank you.
Thank you, Maura. I went into the men's locker room. I don't know what the sentimental value of that would be, but if it is, I'm with you on this one. So, okay, now I really need your help here. Because if I don't get this right, I will get a continuous improvement chat tomorrow from Gina. Okay? So we got it. So this is a little bit complicated, but I'm going to try and do this right. Okay? So I'd like to invite Regis, Thad, Carrie, and Maura to join me here. We're going to start our groundbreaking. Now here's the confusing part. Okay? Well, maybe not for you. If I use an erg machine, I could do this better. So we're going to have one photo with the platform party. So that's if you're on the platform. Okay? And then I'd like to invite all the captains of the men's and women's rowing teams and the sailing team to come up and be in the second photo. Finally, after we've officially broken ground, I invite all of you to join us for a cookout-style buffet in the tent at the point just behind us. So let's go with stage one.